This Super Bowl odds and conference championship recap edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play Underdog's Pick'em for a chance to win 100x. Promo code SGPN at underdogfantasy.com for a 100% deposit match. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. We're also brought to you by Cut. Cut is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's US based and available in 40 states. Head to cut.com. That's KUTT.com and use promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. And there are only a few days left to get 15% off everything in the SGPN merch store with the promo code playoffs.
This is Brock Purdy from Iowa State, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
To the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, second the money green, with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
Greetings, Sean.
Ryan, we're witnessing history. This is the congrats to the San Francisco 49ers.
What's the history?
And the Kansas City Chiefs. This is the first time we are seeing two opponents in the Super Bowl whose team's colors do not match the Super Bowl logo. If you saw the graphic and video we put out, every single Super Bowl logo previously had the two teams early on. When the Super Bowl logo was released, they had it early on. This is the first year, so congrats.
Well, both
two
teams,
red teams.
Both teams do have red, so maybe it was meant to just be red.
The purple. Were
they just getting us off the scent?
Ryan, you know where the purple comes in? Purple fucking Gatorade. The script has been written. Rigged. Stop the steal. Good times. Both dogs covered.
I like that angle actually. That would really that would hit really deep.
Oh, dude, when the purple comes raining down on the winners, which who knows? Currently, we have the Super Bowl odds already out. Gonna recap, of course. Call in. I would imagine if you want to shove someone in the locker, good luck fitting Dan Campbell in the locker. I think a lot of people upset Dan Campbell. There's a fine line, Ryan, between being aggressive and being an idiot. I mean, when they were up 14, I said, kick this field goal, make it a 3-score game. And in some ways, the second one I don't think was quite as egregious, but man, I don't get not kicking. I mean, especially that first one, but in general, I just don't get not kicking the field goal.
I mean, I know they got the touchdown at the end too, but you also kicking the field goal there. You're down 10. You do. I understand the logic of going for the score there, but you.
Well, when Montgomery was tackled in bounds, instead of using the timeout, you should have a hurry up call ready.
I think there's a number of things that went wrong. One,
clock management in general.
I think if you're like you ran the Montgomery play there, just like you to like signal you're going to go for it. I thought just you can't call that play. Like that just can't be in your bag of play calls right there. I don't know if he lost the game. He certainly made he made some calls that I don't even know if the data would have said that was the right call. I know they were aggressive. But yeah, I mean,
also, you know, the analytics say one thing. I get it, but man, you have to have some game flow, situation momentum. Like if you go up 3 scores there, and you got to feel pretty good about it. I get wanting to be aggressive, but you go up 3 scores there, that's huge. You tie the game there, that's huge. Like you had lost all the momentum. It gives your defense a little bit of energy if you go back and tie that game. Like you kind of have to think of stuff outside of that. Of just getting, you know, just that 4th and 2 on an island. You have to think big picture.
All right, we got some callers lining up. First up, I'm gonna take a little priority call here because I'm sure she's very excited that her San Francisco 49ers are getting it done. Katie Mox.
Let's go!
Ryan, you didn't.
Let's go! Y'all already know when you text message me if you wanted to hop on. I'm like, you're damn right I do. You are damn right I want to hop on this podcast. Bang, bang, Niner gang. And I hear y'all talking. No, this is Dan Campbell's fault. You live by the sword. You die by the sword. Like you said, Sean, he could have gone up 3 scores. There was 2 failed flea flickers, by the way, and 2 failed 4th down conversions when he could have took the points. The Niners came back in the second half, 27 unanswered points for the offense. I can't even speak right now. The Detroit Lions got that touchdown, but oh my God, what a gritty win. And by the way, shout out to all the people that said that Shanahan and Purdy couldn't win from behind. That's 2 weeks in a row, people. 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, he's up to he is now 3-28 when trailing by 14 points. Are they going to try that strategy in the Super Bowl, Katie, to get down 14?
Wow.
You know, here's the thing. You don't want to go into it that way. Okay. I'm not going to act like I wasn't sweating for the first half.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, at least we've proven that we can this season come from behind and win. So the panic button doesn't exactly get pressed. But yeah, I mean, look, this Chiefs team, I was surprised. I was on the Ravens in this one. I thought that this was Lamar Jackson's year. I thought that they were finally going to silence everybody. And Patrick Mahomes just did what he does. And he hurt everyone's feelings. And, came back to get another Super Bowl. So it's a repeat of 2019. And you got to hope that it comes better. But I'll tell you what, Brock Purdy in the second half of this game, he had over 50 rushing yards. He's got alligator blood. All right. This guy came to win and he came to play. And I'm just so proud of him.
Is worth noting that his kneel downs did bring him down to 48 yards. I know this because a number of our listeners were on the Brock Purdy rushing ladder.
Yeah,
and
CJ,
unfortunately the 22-1 pushed. But yeah, I mean, look, Brock, it is annoying because there's nothing gritty about the way that Brock Purdy looks. Now, even the interview after the game, he got no respect. Quarterback of the NFC champions. All right, Strahan's like, all right, get the fuck out of here, Purdy. I want to talk to your better teammates. No respect.
Well, the thing is that was Strahan's first time hosting the championship ceremony. Normally it's Terry Bradshaw, so we'll give him a little bit of grace. It was his first time. It wasn't exactly as smooth as it's been.
Why
in years
would they
past.
not want Terry? I love Terry. Terry hosting anything right now is always enjoyable.
He did host a one-man show in Vegas for a while.
Yeah, he does have a one-man show. We got it, Ryan. Next time we're out there, we got to check out Terry's show. Katie, so crazy, exhilarating win. But coming back to the Dan Campbell thing, I think just the way you have to look at it as a 49ers fan, both times you wanted them to go for it, right? Like you don't want, you didn't want them to kick the field goal, right?
No, well, because it's one of those things where it's a risky play, but it's 50-50, and they already failed on the first one, which was a huge turning point for the game. They, like you said, they could have gone up 3 scores. But instead they went, I don't know why he went for it again. And, Shanahan gets a lot of flack in these games for being too conservative, where I feel like Dan Campbell was a little bit on the other side. And it's the same thing. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. We all like it when coaches are ballsy like that and go for it. But in these particular instances, when it was the NFC Championship game, I thought he was a little bit too reckless, and I don't know that it cost them the win necessarily, because if and you guys obviously know this, if you looked at the entire season, the Lions have been the worst third quarter team this entire season. Most of their turnovers happen in the third quarters. The amount of touchdowns that they allowed, it was the second most in the NFL in the regular season. So you knew that if the 49ers could get things going in this third quarter, they had a chance. And then those calls on 4th down just put the nail in the coffin.
I mean, I would say that this is going to be one of those moments that we're going to hear the donkey head coach, the anti-analytics movement.
Yeah,
they're going to point to this. See, does analytics account for that?
Yeah. Well, I don't even know if analytics would have said to go for this, but you have to be aware of analytics. To Katie's point, it's probably a 50-50 call, but you have to factor everything else into the game, including how much a field goal is worth, considering you have Jake Moody playing for you on the other side as a secret Lions spy who missed that 48-yarder. I mean, and when he missed that, that was a big momentum swing. So you have to like factor this stuff in. Also, Katie, congrats. Producer Josh reminding us you did give out Niners to win the NFC.
Let's go.
Plus 400.
Woo!
So, Katie, now you're going to be covering Super Bowl Media Week, CBS Sports. Are you going to maintain your journalistic objectivity while covering the game?
Sean, I've never maintained any journalistic objectivity
I love
in my life. So I'm certainly going to stop now. Y'all already know. I mean, the three of us are very similar. I am the most insufferable fan. And that was the thing. And I had tweeted out, and Ryan, I saw that you had liked it. There's so many people on Twitter, so many content creators or media personalities that when their team is losing, they pretend like they don't care and it's funny and it's no big deal. I am not like this. I live and die by this team. My emotions are so intertwined with a football team that it's slightly embarrassing. Like I was on the edge of my seat, like literally hanging on by a thread for my life this entire game. My neighbors are afraid of me. My dog thinks that I am a psychopath. My hands were bright red. There is nothing objective about me. Now I will give you bets for the other side that I think are good. But if you think I'm going to say that the 49ers aren't winning the Super Bowl, you're out of your mind.
See, now you've already revealed your pick, Katie.
You hear that pad level right there? I feel like we saw that nice replay of George Kittle pancake blocking Aiden Hutchinson. I feel like that's Katie on her own hands as she's clapping during the game with full intensity.
Raw.
Oh man,
they were bright red.
Yeah, Katie's neighbors pray for them in that second half. Like, let's go, first down.
I texted my neighbor and I was like, by the way, I'm so sorry. She's like, yeah, you're kind of loud. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, classic. Yeah, it's all right. You're in a loud city.
Yes. Big win for you, Katie. And congrats. And I'm sure we'll be seeing you out there in the Super Bowl a couple weeks.
Yeah, but you put it on your calendar, Katie. Friday night. You're joining us.
Yeah, come on by.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't miss it at this point. I'm in the city.
Let's go.
Yeah. All right, Katie.
Bye, everybody.
Let it ride. All right, Ryan.
I was gonna do my best to Christian McCaffrey. Faithful. we have an insane amount of calls.
All right, Ryan. Before we get to the callers, hopefully everyone had a great Sunday. Not only cashing some bets, but lead pipe lock when it comes to game day food. Little C's, the official pizza sponsor of the NFL. Ordering online during the Pizza pregame all day on NFL game days like today, and of course Pro Bowl Sunday. So if you think pizza time is over, no way. We got the Pro Bowl games. We got the Super Bowl right around the corner. And of course, get that pretzel crust, that delicious golden brown buttery crust with the salty sprinkles and the pepperoni piled high. Get you some of the Caesar wings. Love me some Little Caesars. You can get it delivered or our in-store pizza portal pickup. Grab some friends and enjoy a few slices during the game. Little Caesars Pizza. We are also brought to you by Cut, peer-to-peer social betting platform that's US based and available in 40 states. Had a pretty good day myself over on Cut. Cashed a very good money line price over. Even the circuit, which has really market some of the best odds in the marketplace. Ryan, if you're going peer to peer, I got plus 186 for the Chiefs. Got that late over on Cut. Shout out to the users who dared to fade me. Of course, I did lose my Patrick Mahomes will have more rush yards. 9-1 against Lamar Jackson. Got a little bit of a sweat. Ryan was not one of the Cut users that accepted my bet. Luckily, there were some brave souls to pick up my action. Highly recommend going over on Cut. You can create your own odds, which is perfect for the Super Bowl. I mean, think how many bets you and your buddies are going to be having, or stuff you wish was listed at your book. Hit up Cut, get it listed. Download Cut today in the App Store or over at kutt.com. That's kutt.com. Use promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. Kramer, back to the phones.
Do you think how many of these people actually know I have no idea what the order of operations. So let's keep it on positive Niner vibes.
Okay.
Cause I think he was in here early. We're gonna head over to your good friend Nick Fortune.
No.
Who, of course, I'm sure he's excited. Hopefully, has a high pitched scream for us, just like Katie. Niners are headed to the Super Bowl. How we feeling, Nick? I see.
Nick, you're on the line.
All right. Well, Nick can call back in late. All right. Next up, I know he was here, and it's somber. All right. Easy. Let's talk through it. It was a tough day. You guys were probably feeling pretty good, and then you weren't feeling good. What's the mood like?
That was a tough one. That was probably the most Lions way to lose it.
Oh God. I mean, I had a little on that Lions Chiefs money line parlay. Luckily, as gamblers, they cashed the 7.5. But man, I really was rooting for Detroit. They have such great fans. The city was completely behind the team. It was a really good run. Feel for you guys. But I mean, all things considered, easy. You have to be somewhat excited about the season, and I think maybe a few days from now, feeling pretty good about how far you went, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those things where it was a good year. It was a lot further than a lot of people thought we were going to go. It has me excited for next year. I think we grab a veteran corner in the free agent market. I think we draft a rookie corner, so we're better on the secondary, and we're going to be in the exact same spot next year, but even better as a team. So, I mean, yeah, it sucks ass that we lost, and I'm sick to my stomach about it. But at the same time, looking forward, like there's nothing but positive looking forward.
I mean, when Brock Purdy, that ball bounced off the cornerback's head, and Ayuk caught it. To me, that's like right up there with Eli Manning and the helmet catch. Like you just have it. When that happens, you realize that team has a horseshoe up their ass. It's, I mean,
in fairness, Eli athletically avoided a sack, threw the ball
they were holding
to his receiver who caught it. It didn't bounce off of another dude's helmet first.
Okay.
So
fortunate outcome on that play.
The
for
Ayuk
Eli.
play was infinitely more lucky. It hit a helmet and somehow didn't go far away.
And my whole angle was convert on the Brock Purdy interceptable passes. You'll win this game, and they did when they were converting on them. And obviously that's a convertible interceptable pass. I didn't think they would need that second one. I thought they could get by with just one. But anyone you're mad at, easy. How we feel as a Lions fan? Dan Campbell catching some heat for not settling for those field goals. As a Lions fan, are you thinking, hey, we were rolling the dice, we were being insanely aggressive, why change now? Did you want him to kick the field goals? Where are you at with Dan Campbell and his choices there?
Yeah, so I actually completely disagree with y'all and Katie's opinion on Dan Campbell. I looked at it as we were doing what we were doing all year long that was working for us.
Yeah.
Our kicker Badgley is not good.
Yeah,
so to rely on him for a field goal is pretty much putting the same amount of faith as into going for the fourth down. Both fourth down plays that we had drawn up were there. And the first one was Josh Reynolds dropping a pass, and the second one was, off of his back foot. So to say, in hindsight that there was a low IQ play or a bad choice, anybody can say that after the fact. But if it had worked, then he would have been looked at as a genius. So in my opinion, it's, we put just as much faith into going forward on fourth down as we would have Badgley hoping to not fuck up.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's the other thing. As an outsider, I don't have a pulse on the kicker. So I think I guess that does change the formula. To me, the opportunity, at least early, to go up by 3 scores. I didn't, and the Josh Reynolds play call, you're right. Like he's got to catch that ball too. So it's not quite as easy as just, hey, kick the field goal. I still think, especially the first one, I probably would have went for it. And the momentum thing is real. But to your point, if you don't trust that kicker, Levi Stadium, it's not a sure thing. And I'm sure there would be people the other way if they missed a field goal. You would have.
What was the score at that point
heat.
again? I'm looking up the
first one. They were up 14.
So it was 24-10.
Yes.
And Detroit 4th and 2 at the San Francisco 28. Recommendation: go for it. Plus 2.2.
Expected win probability. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like it's the same thing.
And they had, to your point, they had it.
Yeah, and to your point, and apologies for cursing Josh Reynolds. I really thought, oh man, he had, and he was open on that flea flicker. Goff didn't get a clean grab of the ball before he chucked it up. You could tell he didn't quite have it secure. Is there someone you are blaming for the loss, or at least pissed off at as a Lions fan?
Well, Cam Sutton first and foremost. I hope he's not on the team next year. He's fucking horrible.
Yes,
he was horrible the entire playoffs. I mean, everybody was talking about how bad our secondary is. Most of it was on Cam Sutton. If you look at the guys that were 100+ yards every game, the primary defender was Cam Sutton in almost every single situation. Yeah. So we need to replace him ASAP. And then the other one, obviously, is the guys that dropped the passes, mainly Josh Reynolds. But I mean, Laporta dropped one. Amon-Ra dropped a couple he normally catches. So it was just, you got to make those catches in a game like that.
So both fourth down decisions on the final drive for the Lions were also correct.
On the final drive, meaning not the final one where they got the touchdown. You're saying the drive
I'm saying that play and the play previous on that drive when it was fourth down from the 30. I'm saying both times they did the correct thing according to analytics.
Yeah.
So if people come after him, I guess it would be the.
Well, yeah, and I guess the easiest point, hey, if you always hit on whatever the blackjack scenario is, that's slightly plus value on the card, then why change it? I guess I understand that, but just at the time, I still, as a guy who headlines money line, I wanted to kick the field goal. But easy, hey, congrats on a good season. I assume you're going to be rooting for the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Have you thought on that yet? Have you been able to get there headspace wise?
I'll be rooting for my bets on the Super Bowl.
No, look
all
at
right,
him.
I like it.
I don't like either one of these teams.
I know.
So I don't care who wins.
It's too early. Why'd you ask him that? I'm sorry.
I was trying to move on.
He's not ready.
I was trying to help him move on, Ryan. All right, thanks for calling in, Easy, and best of luck next year. Sorry about your lines.
Appreciate y'all.
Let it ride.
By the way, we were in the population of people who Lions Twitter has been very quick to point out that we gave them bad draft grades because they took a running back and a linebacker. How are we feeling about our draft grades? Would we change anything?
Also we graded them after the first day, so it was just Jahmyr Gibbs and Jack Campbell. Jack Campbell played solid, and Gibbs had a good season. I still am against drafting a running back that high.
I literally said in the breakdown that I think they made their team better right now, but I don't know if this is the right thing to do with all that draft equity. All right, I think we're now synced up, maybe in order. Forgive me if I'm wrong. We're keeping it on the Lions train. Noah. I'd imagine Noah's in his lab with pen and pad because we know he's an analog guy, writing the lyrics to his next country music smash.
Yeah, you hit a home run there. I will say the next country music smash is tomorrow's Lions in college basketball.
Oh.
We move.
On to hoops.
Yeah, yes, sir. Look, if you would have told me the final score prior to the game beginning was 34-31 San Francisco, I would have been content. I would have been happy. I would have been, it was a great
shootout. They hung around. Yeah.
If you told me that they were up 24-7 at half,
oh no,
I would have been looking at Super Bowl tickets, which I did get like 2 or 3 texts. Hey Noah, how many times have you been to Vegas? Is this like something that you're interested in? Like, do you want to go? I'm like, guys, there's 30 minutes left. There's 30 minutes. And I'm going in March, so I don't think I'm making 2 trips here. It's just the way. That's the heartbreaking part about it. You're up 17. Katie mentioned it. The third quarter just kind of goes unspoken about. We're gonna try to get through that as much as possible. I don't know what it is, but offensively, it's been a bit of a slump for us in the third quarter throughout the season. But yeah, that's my take on the outcome of the game, I guess.
No, you
who are these people in your life that were planning trips before the game was over?
I mean, come on. Have they ever watched sports?
Put them on a list.
What kind of Lions fans are they? All of a sudden they're cocky. It's like, come on, man. You're the Lions. Let it. You got to let it breathe. Noah,
I tried to not be as like not confident, just lowball them until they overachieved my expectations, but they did. I'll give them that.
So Noah, this is like you kept having these girlfriend analogies with Stafford and the new chick, and the other chick moved on, but then you got this new chick. It's going great. What is this in that analogy? Is it like, hey, you're right there at the altar, and then your bride had been hung over the night before. She starts puking at the ceremony. Like, what? Compare this for us for the girlfriend analogy. How does this feel?
It's a small little like meaningless fight. 14 months into the relationship that you see a long-term thing going on. I am not upset with the outcome, just to say the least. Like, if you told me, I think if you look at the three situations that Dan Campbell, I think, is probably going to be under fire from in national media or just news cycle-ish through the offseason. If you would have told me that he wasn't going for it on two of the three, I would have said, you didn't watch this team the entire season.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like, he stayed consistent from the second that he arrived in Detroit. And that's, I think, all I would ask for from a girlfriend, just, not too many emotional swings throughout.
She stayed consistent.
The relationship, just steady,
Yeah. Normally she can drive home fine after 5 or 6 whiskeys. She's done it the entire season. This time driving home, she hit a tree. It's fine. The headlights busted up. She didn't get a DUI. No one got hurt. We learned some lessons.
Oh, I was going to say, this is the time where she comes home and she's wasted and she has to puke, but instead of puking in the toilet, she pukes all over the floor. And instead
she didn't make it to the bathroom.
And instead of just puking, maybe she pissed and shit herself a little bit too. But she's still.
Well, hold on, Vince McMahon wants to call it.
But she's still smoking hot. And now if anything, you got a little leverage in the relationship.
It's like that guy who. Has that chart of like chicks' hotness and craziness, and it's like the hotter, the crazier. You gotta find your. And Dan Campbell is the football equivalent of a hot chick, right? He's the ultimate football coach. He's jacked. He's doing lippers. He's super aggressive. He doesn't care about your
down ups with the team.
Yeah, he doesn't want your. He's not letting the kicker decide this dumb game. He's the ultimate. He's the ultimate hot chick, and then every once in a while, they throw a hairdryer through your window. Like, there's going to be some bad times every once in a while.
You know what they say, Sean? You know why a lot of people get speeding tickets in sports cars?
Because they're fun to drive.
Because sports cars go fast.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, hot chicks go fast. That's the metaphor.
Dan Campbell's the ultimate hot chick head coach.
I mean, honestly,
100%. Like, if Josh Reynolds just catches that first fourth down pass, we're probably looking at least 3, maybe 7. You're up by 17 again, I think it was at the time. And then maybe I would have been like pondering, hey, can I do 2 Vegas trips in in 2 calendar months?
Yes, sir.
But I totally I agree with the decisions. Like, Michael Badgley had come onto the team like week 14, I think it is. And in his career, I'm not a normal NFL handicapper. I don't know his 45 plus, because it would have been a 45 yarder and a 48 yarder, I believe. From 40 and longer, he's only 68%. I would rather do what we've been doing the entire season long. Trust your players. That's what you got. That's what got you here. So, yeah, I mean, it's just the unfortunate thing about being a very aggressive football team. But then again, like, this offense has been one of the best in the NFL. I would rather trust them than the kicker.
Yeah, I mean, again, it does seem like he made the right decision most of the time.
And it was a pretty small sample size for him. His 2023.
Yeah, because we had Riley Patterson before him.
Yeah,
he was an accurate kicker, but he had no leg at all. Like, couldn't even get it over 40.
Tough times. No, we were rooting for you, even though Ryan was in his 49ers and his 49ers laying the points. He was he was hating on the city of Detroit. Not me. Motown for life. Hopefully Eminem gets over this. Maybe writes a song about how his wife sucks.
I will say, like, Easy was upset with Cam Sutton. I am too. But Sutton was solid with Pittsburgh. I thought it was a great signing because he wasn't supposed to be the cornerback one for this team. We had Emmanuel Mosley coming in the fall, and I think it was an ACL injury for him, like day 2 of practice in the fall. So that's difficult. It's hard to rebound from that. And yeah, Sutton was on the wrong end of a lot of like odd, bad, large receiving totals against this season.
He was bad. He wasn't very.
But
bad.
I'm not running to the podium at the NFL draft.
Oh, hold on. Sorry, no. For those watching on YouTube, I put a picture of hot chick Dan Campbell up on the screen. I was trying to find one of him on the Giants. It's a little green.
That hair is pretty nice.
But I mean, look at those. I mean, that is, you could see him going hard.
It's not a guy who's going to kick field goals.
Puking a little bit, and then maybe shitting himself by accident.
Yeah, and Ryan, by the way, since I'm live on our show, shout out to Woodward Sports. What a train wreck of a sports media, local Detroit. We deserve better. That one guy, it took like 6 days for him to get their giveaway money. We were tagging.
Oh, is that the same play? Oh, yeah.
That's the same media. Yeah,
but he got his money.
Yeah, and they fired, or I don't know about fired, but they let 2 of their content creators go because of it.
What happened?
So we had a listener who, if you remember, he tagged us because he had entered a contest for $5,000 where if you predict the correct score and the first touchdown,
he won it.
You were going to win $5,000. And apparently they were ghosting him. Like he had tagged us again in some stuff because he was being ghosted. But yeah, Noah, I guess he did get his money, but it sounds like there was some drama.
He got it like on day 5 of, just hounding him.
Sean, what day do people get paid when they win contests with us?
Well, they respond to my emails. I paid some people the same day. So yeah, pretty good about that.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not rushing to the podium at the 2024 NFL draft, which is, by the way, hosted in the city of Detroit.
Oh.
Who knows? Maybe SGPN, some representation is there.
Yeah.
Maybe one of our guys, myself, lost a fantasy football league this year and might have to do a punishment live there. So we'll see if we can do something with SGPN. It sounds like it's going to be like a hot wings challenge or something.
Oh, well, I mean, 100%, 100% Noah's doing some man on the street stuff.
Yeah.
That's already greenlit.
Go ahead.
What were you saying, Ryan?
No, that was it.
Noah on the street.
Noah with a mic on the street is what I'm signing up for.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, I would be going to the podium for some pass rush help first off. So
okay,
that would be my number one need on the list here. I think Brad Holmes did pretty well in the 2023 draft. You guys could disagree, double down on your takes about Jahmyr Gibbs, but I thought he was pretty fun throughout the season.
No, I still. And my take, he played very well and had a good year. I'm still opposed to drafting a running back 12 overall.
Noah's new to sports media.
I don't think that Jalen Carter would have improved this team, in my opinion.
Well, he wasn't a Dan Campbell guy. We knew that. He was off the board. Did not have enough grit, nor did he like to bite kneecaps. Just drive cars fast. I would say this, Sean. Noah's new to sports media. He's not aware that you sound like a donkey if you talk about applying any sort of draft equity to running backs, which, by the way, Sean, I was looking at the early data and the way too early best ball drafts over at FFPC.
Yes.
You know who the number 1 overall pick is? This is going to make you throw up in your mouth. Bijan Robinson. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't.
Well, Arthur Smith isn't there, so maybe
disagree with that take.
Maybe they took the regulator off.
True. Maybe.
Kramer, I saw your Kentucky Derby odds sheet that you posted. I scrolled down the lines, after Detroit had lost this game, and there was a name that stuck out to me. It's just fun. I don't know if you did the same thing. I don't know if you scrolled the odds. If you want to guess what I'm.
No, I didn't. I've been enjoying which horses people are telling me I should bet.
At 350 to 1, Raging Fury. Dan Campbell. Stick with him.
Controlled
the hot
fury.
girlfriend. It's just a bump in the road. This is marriage in a couple of years. Let's go.
I have really enjoyed being at the Circa every Friday night, so I can collect whatever random future sheets they have, and the fact that they have a Derby one just gives me a nice smile. All right, Noah.
Let me know when they release the college baseball World Series odds, because I can't view Circa's odds.
I will work on that. We'll make sure. We'll get.
It's going to be a priority, no?
Well, I mean, we have a real sharp here, Sean. We want to get down. Subscribe to the college baseball experience.
Let's go.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
And the college basketball experience. Thanks
for having me on, guys. I appreciate it. Let it ride.
They have spies in our chat right now. We don't need to plug the college basketball experience. Just the college baseball.
Kramer, we got more calls.
I mean, the show is going to be only callers. So, if you don't want to take a break, you can take a break.
Yeah. Real quick shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Head over to underdogfantasy.com, promo code SGPN. Not only NFL pick'em, we got tons of action for the big game, Super Bowl. I'm sure we're going to be doing some battle royale, Ryan. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking at Gauntlet returns. I'm advancing, Ryan. I think I'm going to win $500. Yes.
Wow.
With Jared Goof, Christian McCaffrey, David Montgomery. And then I got Sam Laporta, Josh Reynolds.
So you're the Lions Niners team.
Yes.
Oh,
so well, I'm not going to advance past that, but
what do you mean? You're in the final.
Yeah, but I only have Christian McCaffrey.
Oh yeah.
And Jerick McKinnon.
I mean, Sean, I can't imagine ownership on McKinnon's very high. So
yeah. So a lot of fun over.
If he comes back, maybe you got a shot.
A lot of fun. A lot of stuff to get down on over at Underdog. Love the pick'ems, love the drafts, the battle royale, so much action. And of course, use that promo code SGPN, get 100% deposit match up to $100. And we're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. Hopefully you're optimizing those parlays, betting smarter, not harder. HOF Bets in their system. Again, very good at grinding out some nice little plus EV opportunities. The deep data button is very cool. I'm sure we're going to be using it a bunch, getting ready for the Super Bowl. If you haven't signed up, sign up today. Try it out for a month. I think you're going to like it. HOFBets.com, promo code SGPN. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app, or just HOFBets.com. Hit promo code SGPN. Get 50% off your first month. Pretty easy to use and certainly a lot of fun. You can go down a real fun player prop rabbit hole. Enjoy it. HallOfFameBets.com.
All right, let's keep it going. Next up on the list, we got Dikpuncher.
Oh, what's up, Dikpuncher?
I'd imagine he's happy the Lions lost secretly.
Yeah, I mean, as a Packers fan, I can't imagine you're rooting for the Lions, but also the 49ers did beat them. So I don't know. Who are you rooting for? I know you gave out, you had the Niners, right? I forget.
Yeah, so I had small plays today on the Niners against the spread and the Ravens against the spread, and then I gave out the parlay where I said this was like multi-year, like 4-unit play, Niners -3, and parlayed with Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown. Obviously, that was only a partial cash, but
it's still
like
good.
I said in the morning, it was a day of recklessly responsible plays. So I came
responsible DJ. Hey, you got the ride, Ryan. We've gone this far in the show and didn't even talk about if you tuned in the pregame show. I rattled off some of my first touchdown parlays, one of which included a Travis Kelce, Josh Reynolds first touchdown parlay.
So close.
I had it
concept.
I was very close to firing on Jameson Williams, but I was like, I've been talking all week on Josh Reynolds. I'm going to feel like an idiot if he hits and I didn't have him.
But two touchdowns would have hit. Like his rushing ladder would have.
I mean, yes, Jameson Williams obviously would have been the guy over Josh Reynolds, but I was warm. I just wasn't hot. But it was like 25 to win like 6,800. So I did get the sweat, and that's really all we can ask for as degenerates here. But as a Packers fan, who are you rooting for, Dikpuncher?
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So I guess, so there's this one girl, right? And we've got a history of a sort. and she's just the worst, right? Like the absolute worst. She just waits for when my hopes are at their absolute highest, and then she just crushes my fucking heart. But sometimes, right, like after she's broken my heart, right, and we're not directly involved, romantically anymore. Sometimes she comes to me, she pimps herself out for me, right? She does her thing. I wet my beak off it a little bit, she's going to be out there on the block anyway, right? Lord knows you're an Italian American in New Jersey. They're going to think you're wetting your beak anyway. So you might as well, you got to make a buck. That all being said there, I was actually obviously I had money on the Niners. I found myself in the Discord tonight while the game was going on. After a million bounces went the San Francisco's way in a row. And then finally, there was that almost interception by the Lions that wound up being a long reception for them. I literally posted in there, finally. So all caps, finally, something bounces the Lions' way. Because I was so I felt so bad for Easy, because I've been in his spot, the exact spot, so many times, and I knew exactly how he was feeling in every moment. Noah too. I genuinely feel really bad for those guys. If I had no money on the game, I would have been just full on rooting for the Lions.
This is what happens every time Colby bets on a big program or favorite. The second the game starts and he realizes that he wants to root for the small team.
I've never seen Colby root for his bet. Very rarely. I'll be like, Colby, you won a lot of money. That that roughing the passer penalty helped you win. He just shakes his head. He's like, they're destroying this game. Like, Colby, no, who cares? Texas won. You picked Texas. He goes, I know, and it was disgusting. He hates it, and it's so funny because especially this year with Alabama, watching Colby watch this Alabama team where they would be down and then have these miracle comebacks or whatever. He's like, fuck. It's like, dude, they're gonna win. They're Alabama. They pulled this shit. At least this season, they were pulling it all the time. It was very entertaining.
Did watch. They though? Did they always pull it?
Not always. Not always.
Here we go.
Not always.
Stop. Did that happen?
Not always. Not when it mattered.
Dikpuncher, man. What I mean?
Are you gonna get a? Are you gonna get a a Jim Harbaugh Chargers jersey?
No, I don't think I'm gonna get a Harbaugh jersey. But I mean, obviously, whenever it does not conflict with the Packers' interests, you better believe I'll be rooting for the Chargers for sure. Frankly, they don't need me rooting for them. They're gonna do just as fine. I was talking in the pregame. Remember how I stumbled upon from a long time ago, because I have a file of notes of Harbaugh-isms and stuff, among other things, but there's a bunch of stuff from him in there. And I was just reading back through it, and it was from early on after he got hired at Michigan, talking about, and I said this morning on the pregame, but after the teams would do drills, they'd have the offense play against the defense at Michigan, and whoever won the drill, the offense or the defense, if they won, the winning side ran laps because hard work is a reward. Right.
We got to start using this around our company, right? Hard work is the reward. I love it. All right. Thanks, Mr. Puncher. Any early thoughts before we let you go on the opening line? I know it was at 2.5. It got smashed. It's I'm seeing it's already down to 1.
There's some ones out there. There's some 1.5s, and according to the internet, it at offshore it flashed Chiefs -1. So perhaps we will be talking about Patrick Mahomes as a favorite.
Oh, okay.
I'd say there's no I might not take the other side of this, although I think I probably will, but there's no way in which I'm back in the evil empire in the Super Bowl. The evil empire for me, by the way, because this probably means the opposite to a lot of people, is San Francisco. Fuck San Francisco. I'm not backing them. If anything, I'm taking the Chiefs, but I think I'm probably going to be returning to Mecca on the over 1.5 passing touchdowns, possibly parlayed in the game.
All right. Sounds good. All right, Dikpuncher. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, have a good one, boys. Let it ride.
Let it ride.
All right, Sean.
Yes.
The hits keep coming.
Let's get it.
I'm not sure what Serial is going to want to discuss, being as the Cowboys aren't in the Super Bowl. But Perhaps he had a good day with the bets. We
didn't hear.
We're 44 minutes into the show, and we haven't discussed me getting slaughtered, but we don't need to. What's
Serial,
up, Serial?
are you here to call cheer Ryan up after he lost all his bets? I tried to talk him into some sensible plays here, but wanted no part of it.
Yeah, the Ravens was a bad one. I'll give him that one. but yeah,
we haven't really talked about the Ravens game at all. Perfect time to bring up, like I said, the Chiefs as underdogs. I mean, I feel like both games I had the handicap pretty decent. Spags was gonna figure out Lamar. He was going to be able to rattle him, not be able to get them, and the Chiefs were going to be able to move the ball on the Ravens. I mean, what am I missing? And Lamar's fumbling. I was talking about it all season. Finally came to roost when it mattered most. Lamar himself said he didn't like facing Patrick Mahomes. Why? Because Patrick Mahomes always gets the dubs.
Yeah, that was a bad game. There were like no points in the second half of that. Started out really good, and then it just completely shut down from there. I don't know. He seemed like he was. I was talking with my friend because we were hanging out for my birthday today, fellas.
Oh, happy birthday.
Appreciate that. We were talking about how like Lamar was trying to outduel Mahomes, which he's not built for that.
Ryan kept yelling at Lamar, "Be Lamar, you're Lamar, be Lamar."
What? Just run! Like, what are you doing? The whole field's open. Go early. He was holding the ball too long. Zay Flowers is learning something from a receiver on the team, not a positive thing. He's learning how to emote like Odell Beckham.
Zay Flowers with a Kadarius Toney-esque performance.
Some people have said that I should not be coming after the refs in that game.
Well, first, who knew? Oh, wait, me pointing out Taylor Swift. They're definitely going to put her in the Super Bowl. The Japanese concert. Do some time zone research, you fucking squares. She's gonna be at the Super Bowl. The script was leaked to me. I can only give out so much before it gets super obvious. But I mean, what are you doing?
I'm accountable. Betting against Patrick Mahomes always looks stupid in hindsight. When you're wrong, only when you're wrong. But the mother and I understand that there weren't a lot of flags in the second half, so you might not be paying attention because maybe you don't know ball. Maybe you're talking to ladies at the party during this part of the game. Maybe you're getting more cheese for your fat ass on the plate.
Wow.
But the refs just casually tossed them like 60 yards in the first half of critical drives in ones that turned out to be scoring plays. And so I thought for the most part, the refs didn't do a bad job. They didn't overly get themselves involved, but when they chose to get themselves involved, it was ridiculous shit. You can't call a personal foul. I guarantee that ref thought it was Patrick Mahomes flopping like a fish, but it was actually Travis Kelce, a grown ass man. I mean, that's embarrassing. Your girlfriend / wife is here.
That one was bad. I do think they gave the Ravens a couple makeup calls after some of those bad ones.
It didn't really matter though. They weren't useful makeup calls.
Right. But I mean, if you're the Ravens, you don't have anyone to blame but yourself.
Zay Flowers.
You're at home. Yeah. I mean, Zay Flowers, you gotta hang on to that. You can't
averaging over 5 yards a carry and you just stop running the ball.
Yeah. That was, and I forget who tweeted this out to us. He said, what was it? Justice Hill and Isaiah Pacheco to have combined 25 carries. And it was at plus 300. He's like, this is too easy. What am I missing? I'm like, I also like it that, the fact that it is too easy is the only thing that scares me off. Maybe the Pacheco toe thing, but Pacheco ended up almost getting it himself, Ryan. He had 24 carries. Hill had 3. So it did end up hitting. I was like, the thing that's scary about it is that it's too easy, but the Chiefs did a good job sticking with the run. He wasn't particularly efficient. He had some nice hard runs, ended up finishing 24 for 68. Mahomes didn't get there with the rushing yards, although he did have one long rush called back. And then a number of times where like he could have scrambled, but then threw it at the last second.
I mean, it's just, it's classics. So Serial, birthday was good. Then it sounds like.
Oh, birthday was great. Kramer, did you find out this morning Kellen Moore's back in the NFC East?
I did. And I'm glad you're bringing it up because it was on my list of things to come up if there was an opportunity to bring it up. But interesting hire, I'd say. Not exactly a track record for success. What are your thoughts, Serial? And I guess for those who didn't hear, Serial saying, Kellen Moore has returned. He once again has lost his job and gotten another job relatively quickly. So I guess maybe Sean should comment first.
Yeah, I mean, with getting an offensive coordinator, the two choices are an experienced play caller that's available, or B, promoting a new unknown and seeing what they can do. A guy who has never called plays before. So the other guy that I think was in contention, the Rams quarterback coach, they ended up promoting. I mean, you could have talked me into Gerard Johnson. I thought he was a decent candidate. Quarterback coach for the Texans, but again, those are guys who have never called plays.
Arthur Smith was available.
Didn't want him anywhere near the team. I do think with Kellen Moore, he's probably the most successful / best guy with play calling experience that's available. So yeah, I think you're available for a reason, but also, like, I looked at that Chargers team. I don't think play calling was their issue. Like, the team was kind of cursed from the beginning, and for the most part, I think his play calling while he was in Dallas was, solidish. So we'll see. I do like that he runs more, pre-snap motion, stuff like that. He attacks the middle of the field a little bit more. But again, you never really know till they get in the building, till you see what their play calling looks like with your guys. But cautiously optimistic.
Serial might say they got better when he left the Cowboys.
I mean, I don't know why you hired a offensive coordinator. It's not really going to run the ball, so it doesn't make sense to me. But
yeah, that was kind of my thought. His problem now at two places has been his inability to commit to the run, which is also seemingly what got the previous guy in trouble in Philly. So.
I don't think that was not Ben Johnson's biggest issue.
Just scheme.
Yeah, I mean, I could walk through the entire thing. Not being able to adjust. It was huge. Not either coaching up or having better packages to deal with the blitz. Being consistent with the run, sure, but that's like way down the list.
Yeah, I was surprised.
I mean, he won a playoff game with Dak. I think that's pretty good.
I was surprised.
Really, you were surprised?
I mean, he trying to say, Doc?
No, I just think like he I would say that what transpired with him, or what transpired with the Cowboys and with the Chargers over the course of the last.
He got fired from the Cowboys for putting up too many points. Well, don't you remember that?
Yeah, no, but I don't think he necessarily was missed, and so yeah, I mean, like I said, interesting situation. I'll be curious to see what kind of like leader he is in the building. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he's got a strong personality, because it does seem like they need. So, and maybe that's why I'm surprised. I thought they would have brought in someone with a little stronger of a personality.
But who? Like,
yeah, I mean,
if you want, I'm just saying, there's two options: either like a young unknown or a guy with play calling experience. To me, it's either him or Kingsbury would be the guys with play calling experience that are available.
Yeah, I guess I would. To answer your question, I'd rather go unknown.
Yeah, I mean, unknown, bigger variance.
I would too. I've heard Ron Rivera's getting looked at for the DC spot.
I mean,
not for our team. We got Fangio.
No, for Cowboys.
Oh, I would love Ron Rivera down in Dallas.
I think everybody would.
Well, I mean, he might act. I mean, in fairness, he was doing a lot more than coaching, so maybe he just being a defensive coordinator would be.
What he did with the amount of talent on that defensive line, to me, would automatically disqualify him from any future coaching opportunities in my organization. When you have Chase Young, Montez Sweat, like some of the guys that Jonathan Allen, like they invested so much in that defensive line and got so little. And if you are a defensive minded head coach, I'm sorry, I'm out on him.
I wouldn't. I mean, you probably can't say this out loud, but I wouldn't hire an old guy as a defensive coordinator.
I mean, it depends on the old guy. Like Bill Belichick, yeah, sure. You want to be my defensive coordinator? Yes.
I want young coaches.
Wink Martindale, I think, would have been a fine
old guy positions on my staff. You can be the head coach. You can be the special teams coordinator. you can be the strength and conditioning guy.
Old strength and conditioning.
Those are the three old guy positions.
No, I think offense. You need a younger mind, if anything.
Offensive line as well.
Offensive line, definitely old guy.
Yeah,
I can see Kramer getting that one of those old guys like the what's his name from the Cleveland Browns when they had him on Hard Knocks.
Oh, what Rex? One of the Ryan brothers?
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was the Ryan brothers. He just had a big old belly. He was kind of old.
Oh yeah. I mean,
yeah.
You gotta, or maybe it's a chief of security position. I think maybe to fix the Big Dom situation, every team just gets.
It wasn't Freddie Kitchens, right? But who is that?
It might have been Freddie Kitchens.
No, who is the guy that his stomach bounced?
I can't remember. That's what I was thinking about when he was saying that.
Oh, Bob Wiley, offensive line coach.
There you go. Offensive line coach. See,
yeah, one
of the 4 positions you can be an old guy. All right, Sarah, you got any early?
I'm gonna send this to Josh.
You got any early bets on the Super Bowl? Early takes?
Not yet, but I probably will take the Niners.
Yeah. You want some predictions on who's going to be the public side? Mahomes. You imagine how many Swifties are signing up for their account for the first time to get their bet in on the Super Bowl?
Oh, come on! You think
it's going to be one of the most lopsided games we've ever seen?
They're asking their gay boyfriends about what sites to sign up at.
I mean, look, if your girlfriend is all of a sudden interested in the Super Bowl,
yeah, tell her to go to underdogfantasy.com. Tell her to do promo code SGPN. Tell her all the profits from our sign up codes go to Taylor's charity.
Look at that belly.
Yeah, YouTube.com/sports gambling podcast.
Here we go. I'm not a quarterback. Obviously, you can tell.
I mean the way the belly pops whenever he says hut hut. Oh man,
I gotta be honest.
It's like a hypnosis thing. It's so relaxing watching it.
I would go as far to say that this is the I mean, how could you be that unathletic and be around just the peak athletes of our society? Like there's gym equipment right over there. All right, Serial.
Even just walking around the practice facility, you'd burn some calories. Get a
sweat going. Throw the sweatsuit on.
You always make fun of how fat my coach is, dog. Your coach is just as big of a beach ball.
Oh yeah, no, Brian Dable. I mean, his head looks like it's gonna pop. He needs to do some exercise as well.
Brian Dable younger too. Like he's got no excuse.
He also seems like he's got some anger management issues. So hopefully he doesn't have any sort of like. He should get his heart checked. I'm worried.
All right, fellas.
All right, Serial. Let it ride.
Let it ride. More calls, Ryan?
One last caller.
Perfect.
If he's still awake. Hopefully he didn't fall asleep. We got cousin Mush, which I'll let him tell you what happened tonight, but
it's Dominic the donkey.
Is this a cousin Mush? Although cousin Mush's plays, I feel like are not usually donkey related plays. I mean, they end up not working out because of crazy twists of fate or snowstorms causing games to be moved, but they're not, from the start, he's not like a square better with his picks. Would you say that's an accurate analysis?
Yeah, I'd say he probably skirts the line. He's like a little bit red, a little bit blue. Like,
but Italian Christmas Donkey, just such a good tune, and I'm sure Cousin Mush has heard the tune many a times. Cousin Mush, are you there?
I am here.
What's happening? How's your son?
I'm offended that you're making fun of Italian heritage again, Sean.
I love Dominic the Donkey. It's like one of my favorite Christmas songs.
My favorite little stuffed animal as a kid was Eeyore, just so you know.
Hey, this is Cousin Mush. Thanks for noticing.
Yes, exactly. Do you guys both remember, I don't know, what was it, September 7th at approximately...
Oh, this is going to be fun.
I don't know about what time was the first half over in the
say 7 p.m.
Lions Chiefs game.
7 p.m. Pacific.
Yep.
Yeah, approximately. And I stood up on the table and I'm screaming, "This is the year of the mush." When I hit that first half bet,
right.
Remember that, Sean? I was right next to you. It was good.
I remember.
It turns out it was not the year of the mush.
I remember you talking about your plans for what you were going to do to sweat out the Circa Millions and the Circa Survivor.
That worked out well too.
When I was saying that, you're like, yeah, I think I can come out on these dates and then hopefully, sweating out the 9 million. I want to do it live. Like it was a foregone
we're
conclusion.
doing it live.
It was a foregone conclusion you would be back sweating it out loud. It was. How did
the good
you do?
news is I will be back in Vegas at some point soon.
Hell yeah. What did you do? How's the damage today? What did we get into?
So as you and all of the rest of the D-gens know, I took down a whole city today with my future bet on Baltimore. I mean, I tweeted that at you earlier.
It's Dominic the Donkey.
I had no reason to wager anything else in that game. I mean, I had enough invested with my lovely drunken $300 wager on, on Baltimore there from the Circa that night.
That's right. Because you said you accidentally bet it twice, right?
3 times. I found another ticket.
That's an all timer.
And did you ever consider hedging? I mean, I know Ryan put out, should I hedge? People tried to talk him into hedging. The +4.5 would have been a nice hedge opportunity.
Oh, I didn't hedge.
Those people all went to private schools and they're all pussies. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it turns out it would have been a good move. So it is annoying that I'm being told now that I should have hedged. I still feel like my decision was sound, and I'm happy with the outcome.
Hindsight, as they say, is 20/20.
Less stoked about the fact that the wife somehow came across the -1,000 or -1,700 bet slip.
Yeah, she's like, we can't.
I was just asking. I showed her the payout for the Super Bowl squares to get her excited, and I said, "Would you like a square?" That's how I make sure that she locks in a square before I tell her how much it is.
Yes.
So then she just fires back. We can't afford squares with a picture of my losing Ravens money line.
How did she find your cut? Did you post it somewhere?
I must have posted it somewhere. I posted on social, obviously. So, bang bang, as they say.
Yeah. So I will say I knew the day was dead when I was scrolling through some of my social medias and I saw one Mr. Investor of Spreads. And maybe you can
friend of the program.
A friend of the program. He was on both wrong sides again today.
Oh, no.
4 units on Baltimore, some ridiculous -7 bet on San Francisco also.
I saw that our uncle was on some Detroit money line and McCaffrey under 87.5. So,
oh my God, I was when those texts came through in rapid rage text fashion, I was dying over here. Because, I mean, the world is always falling in his household. But I will say this also, as I'll leave you. Everybody who's called in all year on all these post and pregame shows, get your asses out to Vegas for week 1.
Yes.
I mean, it's a freaking blast. I mean, the boys will make room for you in the booth. I'll stand up in the back somewhere. You can have a seat. It's a lot of fun. And Ryan, just so you know, you're not quitting the Chargers. They're 30-1 in the early futures for next year.
Oh God,
better get those now, Ryan.
Get down now. It's going down.
I hate Harbaugh though. I have to remind myself.
It's okay. It's okay. 30-1 and make it better.
I want powder blue khakis.
The real question is, Ryan, will you be on the Ravens next year?
No, they have 7-1 early.
I think I don't know who said it. I think someone said it after the game, but this was a Super Bowl team. This was a year. There wasn't a lot of tough competition. The Chiefs were down. I don't know. I don't think I can be back on the Ravens. I don't like the Ravens as the clear, obvious chalk. I'll say that.
Yeah.
And I'll say this. Lamar really disappointed me. If I find out
really?
I want to know whose decision it was to abandon the run.
It was unbelievable.
So many
screaming
times
at the television, just like you are. I didn't even have any of those props.
But it was
Lamar Jackson. You could have just told me Lamar Jackson 37 pass attempts, and I would have bet way more.
You were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I should have correlated it.
Here's what killed, and it wasn't even so much the design stuff. When they were dropping back, there would always be a side of the field where the spy was coming from the other side. If Lamar just went every time, he would have had 17 carries, but they would have won the game. At least had a fighting chance. I unbelievable act of cowardice from one of someone, and that's, I don't know if it was Monken. Oftentimes, Sean, it gets when the game gets big, it does become difficult to stay committed to the run when you're down points, and so I tend to want to blame the play caller here, Monken. But we heard all the talk last week how they went in at the half, and Lamar said, "I want to do this," and they made some adjustments, and it just makes me think this fucking guy. Whoever said it earlier on the X line that he wanted to outduel Mahomes.
Yeah,
you dumb motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, he like duel Mahomes, but bring your fucking weapon, bro. Don't fight him in his game. Like, you're not going down south of the border to take on a knife fighter with a switchblade when you've never done the dance before. That's a bad move.
You're being kind with the switchblade. It was more like a wet noodle.
We're talking about Lamar's noodle.
Well, there's nothing. I mean, Lamar's noodle aside, I thought, everything about the way they approached the game like if Dan Campbell is the coach of the Ravens, they win the game.
Yeah. Dikpuncher in the chat saying Mush kind of making we want to show up in Vegas for week 1. Yeah. NFL week 1 Vegas is awesome. Also, if you want like a slightly more chill vibe, the sign up weekend at Circa, that's a lot of fun.
No games, but
there's some Hall of Fame stuff and
preseason.
Yeah. I'm just saying there's, as far as like a weekend to hang, that one's good. And then obviously the first, like that Thursday, Friday, March Madness is another awesome.
But to Mush's point, the week 1 in Vegas, we'll have a nice big old setup, lots of room. Come hang.
Yeah.
Mush will be there. He's put himself in charge of crowd control.
He's down to do photos.
Yeah,
I'll rip off the shirt again like I did this year.
There was wardrobe changes. Bowser might show up for the first half and then go home.
Yeah,
there's all sorts of celebrities that roll through. You never know.
You meet all your favorite personalities.
I'm going to bed.
All right, let it ride. Perfect.
Let it ride, guys.
Perfect place to go out, Ryan. Even though we got the Super Bowl 2 weeks away, we got tons of content to get to. We got college basketball picks tomorrow. Yep. We got some special bonus NASCAR episodes.
What?
Yes, we will be breaking down the Pro Bowl again. If we're betting on it, or if there's anything to bet on, we're going to be breaking it down all this week, and then obviously Super Bowl week next week. So many episodes dedicated strictly to the Super Bowl. You got a 49ers props episode, a Chiefs props episode, exotic props episode, a Super Bowl squares segment, maybe a full episode talking squares. And if you are a squares aficionado, you might want to get into the Patreon, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. Could be some bonus opportunities there contest wise. Won't want to miss out on that. And again, keep sending in the reviews over on Apple Podcasts. Again, great regular season, great playoffs. We got the Super Bowl.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean Stegelman Green. He's Ryan.
I think McCaffrey to win the MVP is an interesting bet.
Kramer, let it ride.